So switching gears a little bit, I'm going to be taking a look at SRT-AI and an issue or a persistent issue that I've been having with SRT-AI. And this is becoming a problem because, you go to translate SRT.com, which is, the website for the hosted version of SRT-AI. And it's pretty serious because, people are actually paying for this thing now. And they're not getting their money's worth because the darn thing just doesn't work. So yeah, we need to fix that. Uh, right. So let's see, what's the issue? All right. So essentially, it's this persistent sync problem. It was highlighted like a couple weeks ago, and it's an issue that I've known about for a while. And hopefully, with any luck, we'll get a chance to fix that right now. Before that, I saw a quick issue here, maybe a quick win. Browse for SRT file button doesn't work. And I've replaced the div with this, and everything works now. Imagine this is running on, so let's do npm run dev here. See what's going on. Oh, is that taking? Oh, right, let me kill this. Okay. Uh, it's a bit confusing because currently, like, we have a hosted version that's just completely different from the version that we have on the main site here. So this looks completely different from like the actual hosted version that we have here. So maybe it's a good idea to, um, yeah, like to somehow merge the two. I guess at some point. Um, right now, we're kind of managing. Yeah. Right, so browse for SRT file is not working, according to this gentleman. I'm not really sure. Not really sure. Okay. Yeah, so sync problem. Let's get into that. Okay. So I do know that there is in fact a sync problem. Let's see if we can get to the bottom of this. For just purposes of simplicity, I'm going to look at the hosted version here. Um, that's running off like the latest thing that I'd worked on, and so it's fresh in my mind. We have an API route which calls the completions endpoint, and then it basically does this, which is input text will be separated by the symbol blah blah. Your goal is to maintain the exact number of segments. Okay, the exact number of segments thing just doesn't work. That's the source of the sync issue that we keep bumping into. And for that reason, we need to figure out a way that we can get around it. Um, but how? I First off, we need a way to quickly test to see if we're bumping into this sync issue. Um, how do you know? The problem is that we're streaming the response. So it's not like we know up front whether there's some sort of sync issue. That's part of the issue, is that we don't know upfront. We're streaming the response, and so if we were waiting until the entire response was streamed, yeah, we'd be able to compare the input, like how many pipes we had. I think pipe is the no, we're using this weird symbol as an alternative because I suspected that, hey, maybe if you were to change the separator into something else, um, then maybe that'll help, right? Apparently not. Okay. So to test this out, what I'm going to do is run it locally and then uh, localhost and then drop an SRT file. Wait for this to connect. And yeah, I mean, the file could literally be anything. You don't need any sort of special, SRT file. And on the hosted version, like you can actually see them side by side. So if there's any sync issue, it becomes immediately apparent. So I'm going to translate this to Arabic. It's a language that I recognize. And let's see. We're doing Emma, HD rep. All right. So user. All right. It's test mode. So, okay. Okay. Okay, cool. So far it's okay. I'm not seeing any issues. Uh, yeah, I'm already starting to see some issues actually. Um, yeah, so Dear Emma is actually here. So already, right from the very beginning, we have a sync issue. Dear Emma, Dear Emma. This long text, this is okay, but these two lines here, so these two lines here were consolidated into a single line. This is the source of the issue. And how do we fix this? How do we fix this? So I suspect what would need to happen is we would need to play around with the prompt to figure out like how we can get this fixed. So I'm going to take the original prompt and yeah, see if we can make some changes so that it works better. The change I'm thinking about, let's just copy this whole thing. We'll hit the playground. So I'm just going to change this to Arabic and then put the same separator that we have. This doesn't actually matter what the separator is. Yeah, probably doesn't matter. Or at least doesn't matter as much as, I suspected initially. The way we were doing this was, just picking out like an SRT file, like this one. We take the text, we replace new lines with this, and then put the separator in the middle. So you can imagine, let me just do this for a bunch of lines so we have enough of a test on our hands. Okay. And then connect the lines, use this, and then connect them that way. Okay. And any new line we have here, we'll just replace with this, right? Space. Okay, cool. So that's that. So this is essentially what we're providing. We're going to use, yeah, I think it's servo. We'll bump this up to 2047. I think this matches exactly the approach that we were using earlier. You can see that the translations are coming through, and we should be able to notice. Uh, so if you take the original one and just open a new file here, I'm just going to get rid of the rest of this. Make a new file here. That should be good enough. Um, Yeah, so basically just select all references to this, create a new line, and similarly over here, select all references to that, create a new line. Oh, you have the same number of lines, interestingly, but there is, no, you don't. So you can see there's one line that's missing. Pleasant, excellent, man. That's off. So yeah, these two lines, 19 lines, that's 20. Where are we missing a line? Here. Huh, this. So these two lines have been combined into this line over here. That's the issue that's happening. Um, cool. So we can already reproduce the issue, which is fantastic. This is exactly what I was hoping for. And now we need to modify the prompt so that we get better results. So let's see how we might do this. Let's see. Let's see. Let's see. Translate the input text to Arabic. The input text is contiguous, but has been broken up into segments. Make sure that the translation properly reflects the meaning in the original thing. Do not remove in, do not add in segments. You must maintain the each segment is an element in a JSON array. Okay. Um, return the translated segments in the same order and the same number. Okay. I mean, I think this is repetitive, but maybe it works. Let's see. So now, essentially, what we need to do is go from using this element over here, which is what we were using before, into an array, like a JSON array format. So something like this, language mode, JSON, and then format that. Oh, it's not working. I suspect it's because we're using a single quote instead of a double quote. Or maybe there's an extra single quote in there somewhere. Yeah, this one here. Okay. So now when you go okay, and then remove that. Yeah, let's give that a shot. Of course, now the approach would be to replace, if you want to like count the number of entries that you have, we would effectively use, there's a new line here. Nope, that can't work. Okay. So 20 lines sounds about right. And then similarly, we'd want to see 20 lines here. Okay, so let's format that. And again, similar to what we did before, we're gonna look for all the commas. And then, yeah, we got 20 lines. A little short of mother in affection. I think we cracked it, boys. That did it. So you have a JSON response, which has the same number of elements as the original one. So you didn't have to resort to using that fancy whatever. You could just do this. Interesting. Very, very interesting. Okay. So, assuming this does in fact persist and that we won't have continuous issues as a result of this, I think what we need to do is possibly just update our, so let's go back here. What would we need to change in order for this to work? So you have this. This would need to swap for Arabic. You're going to get JSON back this time, and you somehow need to figure out. Wait, yeah, you're not using separator anymore. So where are you making calls to retrieve translation? Here, parse streamed response. Okay, parse streamed response. If there's a separator in the buffer, we can enqueue a segment. So the separator in our case would be the JSON separator. It depends. Like, does it actually include a space? No, it doesn't. Okay. So it's going to be new element. Okay, then we do buffer dot split. So you're going to get a segment which includes this key sequence here. And then you're going to slice from 0 to -1. And then you'll map an encoder. Okay, so for purposes of this, I'm going to assume that we won't have this key sequence in any SRT file that we process. This double quote, comma, double quote. Because if it does exist, then we're going to have an issue. So let me just do a quick check here. Okay, that's not looking too good. Did I actually save that? And just put it back to how it was. Okay, so we're looking for this. Nope, doesn't exist. Very nice. I mean, it's just a random test, obviously. You could check out like two more movies. I don't know how this would reflect in like other SRT files, but I'm assuming this is kind of representative. Yeah, they all don't have that key sequence, which is a good thing. Cool. So we're not going to be using separator. So if the buffer includes this key sequence, we will split segments and then enqueue the resultant segments. Right. And then at the end, it would feed and queue the last segment. Right, okay. But of course, like the last segment would also include the closing. Yeah, you need to somehow account for that. Encode buffer. UTF-8 encoder. The buffer is actually just a string. Top off the okay. Mm-hmm. Okay, buffer plus closed text. Unparsed. Yeah. I mean, also, what you want to do, uh, let his first. Okay. I think that should do it. I'm not sure about this part over here, but we'll see. Let's just debug it and kind of see if that does the trick. Cool. We fixed the. No, I haven't fixed the front end part, so I don't even know if that's going to work, but let's see. Close that, close this. All right, I think we are ready. So let's go ahead and do it. Oh, it's still doing this thing. I didn't save it? That's weird. That's weird. I thought I saved that. Um, I guess not. I guess not. Okay, let's try it again. All right, refresh that page. Okay. So, um, yeah, that's gonna mess up our very shaky our very shaky testing here. Uh, so if it comes, I guess maybe you're better off doing JSON parse at the very end instead of trying to do all of this stuff because it's just going to cause it's going to cause a bit of an issue here. Like this is not going to trigger, and we're going to end up in queuing, whatever. Chris, you can just remove this buffer includes. Okay, whatever. So you're not gonna split a segment here. You're just gonna let the buffer continue to. Actually, that might work. That might work. Um, we'll see. Let's keep going. So now buffer is got a space, and then it's got uh, that. So you can see that buffer currently looks like this, which is okay. I'm going to keep going until we actually hit this condition, which it's looking like. Okay, interesting. Gotta keep going. All right, finally hit the condition. All right. Okay, so segments. Yeah, segments now. And an empty segment. Okay, buffer gets updated. Okay, that works. And then now buffer includes. So let's see what segments looks like. Um, Actually, not segments. Well, no, you're not. Okay, you're feeding here. Yeah, cool. Looks like it's actually working just fine. Surprisingly, it worked just fine. I mean, you might have an issue with. Let's see what the UI looks like. Yeah, this is wrong. Um, well, it's including it without the separator. So where would you be using separator? Where else would that be in use? Inside API route. Why is this being used here? You're joining it by separator. Retrieve translation. Content is text. So what you want to do is you want to pass the text as JSON.stringify instead of whatever it is you're doing there. So you just do JSON.stringify. Yeah, yep, that'll do it. Okay, where else are we using separator? That's in constant, which we no longer require. I think we are good now. So we can restart and let's see if we get accurate results. With any luck, we would have gotten to the bottom of this translation sync issue. Inshallah. Let's see. So far, so good. Oh no, same issue. You can see it's breaking up here. Same issue. You can see it's off by one. There's thank you here. Oh no, that's unfortunate. I mean, it seems it's better, but we don't want better. We want it fixed. Um, Here it is. Know you the Martins, Miss Woodhouse of Abbeyville Farm. That's that saying Anonymous Woodhouse. Oh, it looks like Abbey Mill Farm was not translated for some reason. Interesting. Abbey Mill Farm. That was where the first issue kind of popped up. Whoa, what happened over here? Okay, alright. Yeah, we definitely need to stop this. Stop the madness. Is this... What happened here? Hmm. It seems like what happened is the JSON had a space inside him. That's what's going on. Alright, interesting. So we need to go back here, and it's not enough to say, all right, if buffer dot includes this, we need to also consider the possibility where you might have a space. And this is because the responses that we get from ChatGPT are streamed, right? I'm trying to parse a streamed response back from uh, this response is passed in chunks. I'd like to parse the JSON array at the earliest incrementally. And I update this code to enqueue JSON segments individually. Remember that the separator between segments is a comma, but that it can include space. All right, let's see if AI is everything it's hyped up to be. You can modify the buffer handling logic, specifically adjust how you detect the end of a segment and split the buffer accordingly. Here's how you can do it. Okay. Okay. Yeah, I don't really understand what this thing is, but I am going to assume that it actually knows what it's talking about, right? Let's see. Okay, I don't understand it. Let's save it and see if it works. Um, I guess this is kind of useless too, right? I don't know. Regex. Okay, interesting. So I'll stop at two points, before and after. Okay. The problem is that this might match text inside the string itself, and I don't want that to happen. Yeah, you don't want it to match text inside the string itself. That would be a problem. Well, let's just ask it. Could this conflict with commas that exist inside the string itself? Yeah, it can. So I'll put it back to how it was. Let's see if they have any better ideas. A better approach would be to use a streaming JSON parser that can incrementally parse JSON data and recognize when an array element is complete. However, JavaScript does not have a built-in streaming JSON parser. Clarinet? OBOE.js? What is that? Hmm, interesting. 10 years ago, though, that doesn't inspire much confidence. The last release was 5 years ago. Their website is gone. Streaming JSON parser JS. JSON streaming 2014. Lovely. Let's see. Wow, 6.9 million weekly downloads. Interesting, interesting. Oh, what is that? Real guy? The streaming JSON parser in JavaScript for Node.js in the browser. Okay, this one's pretty fresh. Dependency free. Nice. Cool. Stream parser slash JSON. That's what I want. Okay, let's hope this does it. Let's go ahead and install that. Um, I don't know about all that. I still need to parse delta content. Nope, reject that. Don't lose all the, don't lose the, don't discard the existing. I love how it says understood. It's like you're talking to an actual person. Oh, I just realized my face is right on top of the chat right here. That's a shame. See. All right, cool. Direct JSON parsing to JSON parsing. Parser dot on value. Okay, perfect. Nice. This is beautiful. All right, cool. Let's apply diff. I love how this kind of takes care of like copy pasting everything to the right spot because previously I would have had to figure it out and it's super annoying. But now you don't. You can just let it take care of things. Looks good to me. All right. Beautiful. Let's run it. Let's run it. And then we'll get to this bit over here. And yeah, also if there's an error, I want to know about it. And towards the very end as well. Cool. Where was I? Right here. Let's refresh. Doesn't look like it unbound. Okay. All right. Um, what's the chunk here? Well, no chunk. Just ignore that. All right, so you got a value and type of value equals object. You're going to JSON stringify. Oh, It's not going to be an object. Um, so let's see, what is type of? Well, it is object, actually. Can attempt to JSON. Oh, stringify value. Okay. It's going to enqueue the value? That's not what you want. Um, what? No, no, it makes any sense. Okay. I mean, it seems off. Yeah, this seems completely off. It seems like parser.write data. Um, let me see. Feed the data directly. Okay. What is data here? I see. You don't want to feed like the actual data. What you want to feed is the content thing that was there before, right? Which was, what is it? JSON.parse data, JSON.choices0.delta.content. That's what you want, right? So, what's going on? Okay, undo. All right, so I don't know what's going on. Let me just, what was it? JSON dot choices zero dot. Can you copy? I have no idea why you can't copy this single line here. This is driving me mad. Text selector. God. So just this bit over here. Okay, that's just entirely useless. So JSON dot choices zero dot delta dot content. And yeah, not text return. Yeah. And otherwise you're going to pass it into text. Okay, cool. So hopefully this addresses the issue from earlier. And let's run it again. It's taking so long. 49 minutes in, I already had an inkling of what the idea would be, and we're still kind of wrangling with the JavaScript here and, random stuff. The AI did help, but that whole loop, right? The loop where you put the code, then you have to run it, test it, see if it works, then find a fix, and then run it, test it, see if it works. This whole loop is just driving me insane. All right, what do we got now? Okay, now it's looking better. Um, okay, writing more stuff. Perfect. If there's an error, we want to get notified. And then here, and start seeing some useful values, hopefully. Okay. Dot on value. Okay. Okay. I'll just let it keep going. Got an error back. Tokenizer ended in the middle of a state. Whoa, okay. That's ridiculous. What's going on here? No, that's not what I want. Let me just see how JSON parser actually works. I mean, I was kind of hoping that it would take care of that bit for me and I don't even have to think about it. When does that ever work, right? When does that ever happen? Let's see. Right. So, JSON compliant tokenizer, blah, blah, blah. What? Tokenizer? No, I don't need all of this. What? Stream parser JSON. Import JSON parser dot on value. Oh, on value will be called 3 times. Oh, why would it be called 3 times? Hmm. Okay, so um, you don't want it to parse everything. In reality, it simply connects tokenizer and the parser. Maybe you should use GPT-4 for this. I want to use this package to stream a JSON array in string format and receive a callback whenever an array element is there we go. Okay, so import the JSON parser, which we have here. Then you need to create your own parser. Okay. Parser.onValue. That's what we were using, but I think we were uh if stack equals 1. Okay, that's what you want. So value, okay. What's it here? Parsed element info. Can you pull that in? Parsed element info. So parser dot on value should just take parsed element namespace. Oh, okay. The namespace? Yeah, I mean the interface parsed element info. Huh. That's just you want parsed array element. Okay, maybe. Parsed array element. Oh, that's not exported. Really? Because I can see it's exported here. Okay. So let's just replace this. And this cannot use parse elements info. I mean, you don't want to pull the namespace. So can you do import height? Not use namespace as hmm, okay. So it seems like the issue is because you weren't able to. So it's parsed elements info, but since it's a namespace, you'd have to do it this way. So this would be dot stack. Um, okay. All right. Here goes nothing. What's that? Yeah, let's run it again. Oh God, now we're in. Gosh. This is so weird. Like, why would it export an element that you can't import directly? Like, you would have to, like, this is weird. This syntax is super weird. Anyway, okay, looks good. Now there's an error. Tokenizer ended in the middle of a token space. Um, okay. Not really sure what that's about. Does it keep going? No? Some sort of bug. Okay. This happened when you attempted to call parser dot write. Interesting. Right again. I mean, this has been super interesting. Like, I learned a bunch of stuff that I knew nothing about. This whole JSON parser thing, very interesting. And you get to control, like, when elements are emitted, which that's cool. I didn't even know, like, this thing was called the JSON parser. I just assumed, you're streaming text back and, you would need to manually figure out how you're going to pass the JSON in the correct format, not knowing that there was actually a thing called a JSON parser library. Interesting. Interesting, nonetheless. See how this goes. So we're writing some text. Okay. Um, it's already problematic. Like, well, what's going on here? And why do we have all of these double quotes there? Okay, try running this again. Um, Before we add, uh, okay, so you're calling JSON.stringify, parsed element info dot value. I don't think this is necessary. Like, you should just encode it. Okay. Pro to keep using autocomplete? What is this? Uh, yeah, I'm already on Pro. Why does it not think I'm on Pro? Don't know. Anyway, yes, that should fix the double quotes thing. Let's refresh here, and I'll try feeding in a file, a bit different now. Ford versus Ferrari. So far, so good. What? Why is it? Why is it gone English here? What's going on here? That is weird. So it seems like that would be the some sort of stitching issue when you complete one end and you're moving to the next. Let's see. I'll get a call at controller closed and see if we group segments parse strange response. Where does that get called? Okay, does all this. The parse strange response ensures that we let me just put a comment here. Ensures that we enqueue full segments only and not partial segments. So the values you get here are full values. They're correctly parsed from the JSON. And as you read the values, you create the SRT things and enqueue them, and then you close them. Okay. And you do this by group. Right. Nice. So I suspect it might be an issue at the front end, but let me just double check this. Okay, that's gonna get UV text in JSON format. Okay. right? Then you're going to enqueue SRTs as they come. So I'm just going to add a log point for enqueuing SRT. Actually, just add the log point and make sure I'm enqueuing the actual value. And then you're getting the next segment. So, okay, so far so good. We don't have any issues. Calls controller dot close. Okay. Okay, so still okay. There are no issues yet in this segment. So far so good. And this is working perfectly so far. Wait a second. Oh man, we got the same issue here, man. Here's the issue. So here it says Bondurant. So 327, that's the obvious tow. All right, who you worried about? And then he said, well, you got Red Ferris and Bill Rushton, but this one is off. I don't know what that is, but that shouldn't have been here. Like this shouldn't have been these two lines should have been combined into one. And I don't know why they weren't. So you still have the same issue. It's not like making it into a JSON array magically fixes the problem. And it doesn't seem like it does. Okay. I mean, it's better than the original one in terms of accuracy, but still breaks, man. It's not immune. There must be, I guess what needs to happen is there must be some verification layer where we just like retry the logic and then replace the client side. I don't know, like this is confusing, you know. It's confusing. Need to give this a bit of a think, figure out how we're going to address this problem, and then come back and try it again. I don't know that I have the exact solution here. Anyway, I'm going to wrap up the stream here. Give this another go maybe later this week.